up, guys? This is Zach from Angler's Escape, and today I wanted to just show you guys my tackle box setup. So right here I'm going to go over everything but my lures. So I have a ton of different things in my tackle box that aren't lures, and I thought I'd just take stuff out one by one and kind of explain why I have them in there and show you guys what I keep in my tackle box. Here's some fish gloves that I use. These are really nice for filleting fish. If you don't have to worry about nicking your hand with the fillet knife. It also helps you grasp the fish a lot better. Also, when I get big catfish, it keeps my hands from getting chewed up. The next thing right here, I have some garlic oil bait spray. You can spray these on plastic lures and let them sit overnight in a little plastic bag. And so when a fish bites your lure, they're more likely to hold on to it instead of just immediately spitting it out if there's some scent on there. I don't notice a huge increase in fishing success, but I think there is a little bit of increase. Right here I have a lighter, which I always keep in my tackle box because you never know when you could need to start a fire. And with that, I have a fire starter block, and basically that'll allow me to skip collecting twigs and stuff, and I can just light that and throw on some medium-sized sticks and the fire will start going. So if I ever got stranded and needed a fire. For cutting line here, I always keep a pair of scissors in here to cut off lures and tie on new ones. Also, nail clippers are really nice for lines. If you have like a little bit of line tied to your lure and you need to get up there really close to clip it off, like if it was right there, you could clip it off real easy with a pair of clippers. And they're really small too, they don't take up much space. Right here is a portable digital scale. I got this unbelievable deal. Like, it was about $2.50 off the internet, free shipping. It goes up to 100 pounds. It's all digital. A really nice scale for weighing fish. I weighed my 47-pound blue catfish with that scale right there. Worked great. Right here are some power bait crappie nibbles. Again, this helps it so when the crappie take your jig, they won't spit it out so quick because they'll taste that live bait smell. And here's a little light, a headlight. Really nice when you're tying stuff on in the night. If you need to have both hands free to tie a lure or something on, you need light. A really nice thing to have in the tackle box. Is pretty small. I have my fillet knife. Always good to carry these if you're planning on cutting up bait or keeping any fish. Got to sharpen them about every other time you go fishing. Always need bug spray, especially in the summer. The butt mosquitoes are really out. Some suntan lotion I'll put on the really hot days when I'm out for very long. Let's see here. I have some few different types of bobbers. I'll just show you. I have the standard bobbers right here. A little nicer type of bobber is the more vertical ones that aren't so round because there's less resistance when the fish pull down on the bobber. They don't notice that resistance as much. Another type of bobber I have here is a little slit bobber. And basically what you do is this bobber will slide up and down your line, so you put a little string up on your line, maybe 15 feet up on your line, so you can reel in this little string, and you can reel in your line, and then your bobber, when it hits the water, it'll just go up your line until it hits this bobber stop right here. So slip bobbers are really nice if you want to fish deep water. Here's another one with a bobber. Right here I have some hook removers. I have a bigger one. This is for more like catfish and stuff, for getting the hook out. And this is more for the smaller one here is really nice for trout, bluegill, crappie. It's a lot smaller, and when you have fish with smaller mouths, it's easy to get back in there and get the hook out. Here I have a few pamphlets on Missouri regulations and fishing since I live in Missouri. I know the length requirements of what fish to keep, and here's just a kind of an identification book for all the different fish species in my area, which I keep in the bottom of my tackle box, which is nice. Here's another little fillet knife that's kind of breaks down. I usually try to keep two in my tackle box. Here's a few rigs. Go ahead and grab these out. The first one here is just this is for walleye usually. It keeps your bait on the bottom, but it floats a little bit. So this keeps if you have a weight, you weight it down to the bottom, and then this little floater keeps your worm or something just like about a couple inches off the bottom. And then here's a walleye rig. I have a couple of these. Here's some wire leaders. I've been beach fishing before, and if I ever go back, a lot of those fish have teeth. In the Midwest, there's not many fish that you'll need a wire leader for. Here's a crappie rig that I got at Walmart for about $1 or maybe 50 cents. It's already got the 2 pre-hooked rigs. It's a 2-hook rig basically. And here's just some pre-tied snells for crappie fishing as well, or other fish types. I always have some swivels. Here's just a barrel swivel, and here's some 3-way swivels. I use these for catfishing, these larger ones. 3-way swivels are also nice if you need to tie 3 things off. Here's just another wire leader. I used this when I went to Florida one time. When the fish have teeth, you got to use something that has a wire so it doesn't cut through the line. I always keep something to write on in my tackle box. If I find out the fish are biting 15 feet of water, you can write it down on a piece of paper, or you never know when you're going to need a writing utensil. Here's a little homemade bottom bouncer I made for walleye right here. Pretty easy to make. I made a video on this. Here's a little kind of compartmentalized setup right here with some small swivels, small hooks, small split shot. Just keeps it from getting all unorganized in my tackle box and helps me know where everything is. Here's some yo-yos right here, and basically these are kind of like, you can set these out on a tree overnight with some bait dropped down into the water, and you just kind of set them like this. When the fish takes them, it sets the hook and tires them out. Just something I keep in my tackle box in case I ever needed them. Here I have my stringers. I always have a large stringer for catfish, for big catfish, and I also always have a smaller stringer for the crappie, bass, bluegill. Here I have some carp bait and catfish bait. I usually don't use it very much. I try to use live bait or cut bait or worms for catfish and carp or corn instead of this artificial stuff, but it can work when you can't get bait. Another pair of scissors, and I think that is about it, guys. Oh yeah, and then the last thing I wanted to go over, so I have some stuff right here. Here's my hooks and my sinkers. Go ahead and show you my hooks I keep in my tackle box. So here's just kind of a catfish assortment box that I got at Walmart for just a couple bucks. It's good to have a bunch of different sizes. I have a lot of, for big catfish, I use this 10-0 circle hook for here. I got about 50 of these for $15 off the internet. Here's a 6-0 J hook. This is what I caught my 47-pound blue catfish on. And then I have a bunch of other, I like circle hooks for catfish, and you can see here's a couple different sizes. Here would be a hook for crappie or panfish. It's got the long shank, so it's really good for hooking minnows. This would be good for worm, these smaller hooks here. Here's a hook for bass if you're hooking a plastic, like a plastic worm. It's kind of offset right there, has that bend in it so it fits the plastic bait better. This is for dough baits basically for catfish. These treble hooks. And here's a really itty bitty hook I use for bluegill or trout. If you ever have a fish that's stealing your bait, it's usually because they're really small and they're able to just pick it off. So if you downsize your hook size, you'll usually end up catching them. Bunch more small hooks, and the last thing I'd like to go over is my weights. I always keep a variety, a few of all these weights here. Here's a big weight for fishing the Missouri River and current, an 8-ounce weight, flat bottom weight, so basically it'll sit really well in the current. Here's a bank sinker, 5 ounces. That's good for medium current. If I'm fishing lakes, I'll usually use a smaller weight like this right here. And this is 1 ounces and 2 ounces. Good for lake fishing and no current fishing. This kind of just drags on the bottom. It's kind of slanted, so it's like a bottom bouncer, but it doesn't bounce as much. If you're somewhere where there's not rocks and you're fishing for walleye, you can get your lure or bait on the bottom with this thing, and it'll just kind of drag across the bottom. The last weight here is this pyramid sinker, and if you're ever beach fishing, the waves will take any type of weight in, except unless you get like a pyramid sinker or something like it. It'll sink into the sand and keep your bait anchored. And then I have just a bunch of little weights in here, like split shot and smaller weights when I don't need the big weights. And that's pretty much all. I hope you guys enjoyed my fishing tackle box accessories video, and thanks for watching.